said you're getting slow, old man.
Oh, I saw a clown at the window, man.
Oh shit! Let's go! Bro, we're about to get high. Bro, tell me we're about to get high right now.
Don't be a star. Go uncarve that thing.
Hey, Andy, I'm threatening you.
Lexi Mexi, dude? The little shorty that lives across the street from Ricky's friend. And I think she also shit herself.
What?
This was awful.
Yes, my child. I will lead this room.
All of us Lone Wolf Sigmas have to stick together.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Brothers Duel Podcast. And for episode 2, we will actually be doing a ranking of season 1 of Brothers Duel, which we call the Season of Degeneracy. Luke and I both made lists of our own personal ranking of the 10 short films from season 1 of Brothers Duel. We'll be going from least favorite to favorite. We're each going to be saying we're going to be going one at a time and kind of explaining why we decided to put that specific short film at that specific spot. I have not seen Luke's list yet. He has not seen mine, so this is all kind of fresh.
Yeah, I mean,
to us.
the part of this episode that I'm most excited to see is if our lists match up at certain points, because it's very unlikely that you and I have the same favorite short film of ours. Because I mean, many things as we share and like and have in common, we do have our own specific tastes for certain things, and yeah.
And this is also going to be a time where we're going to kind of be giving ourselves some constructive criticism, because not all the 10 short films we made in season 1 are good. I'll say that now. Not all of them are good. Some of them are pretty bad, and I'm not saying that to be downers on ourselves, but
there are moments in some of these short films where we call out the fact that these are terrible.
Yeah.
So really we can be as critical as we can.
Yeah.
It's all our crap after all.
It's all our crap, exactly. It's season 1 of crap, which is why we call it the Season of Degeneracy, because it's degenerate characters doing degenerate things.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So, Luke, do you want to start off? Give me your number 10, or do you want me to start it off?
So, am I going to say my number 10 and then explain why it's my number 10, and then you are going to say it?
And then if I have a couple follow-up questions, then I'll ask about it, but then I'll kind of hop into mine, yeah.
Yeah, sure, I can go first.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
My number 10 for the season 1 ranking in last place is probably pretty obvious. It's the one where I literally say at the end of the film, this was awful. Mm-hmm. And so at number 10, it's Phantom Leap.
Phantom Leap. Why did you put that at number 10, our worst one?
Well, I mean, I first want to know what your number 10 is before I talk about mine, if that's okay.
My number 10 was not Phantom Leap.
Really?
It was The Slacker and the Stalker.
Damn.
That was my number 10.
Okay, well, so why was this my number 10 is what you asked?
Why is Phantom Leap our worst short?
Well, on my list of notes here, which I have on my piece of paper, I've written pros and cons for each of the...
Yeah, I did about the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess to answer your question, I'll just read off of the stuff I wrote in my cons section. Phantom Leap, man. What is this movie even about?
I think that's what I wrote down about it. Yeah,
and that, of course, came with the fact that the script itself and a bunch of stuff we shot were completely removed during the editing process, and it was just turned into what it now is, which is a silent film about a guy played by Jaden Smith who checks out his apartment pool and then sees a phantom who then jumps into the pool, but then we break character and talk about how much of a dumb idea this was.
Yeah, and
that's really the main reason why it's at my number 10, because it's not really a short film for almost half of it. It's like 5 minutes long. Mm-hmm. 3 of those minutes are the actual short film, but then 2 minutes are just me and Jaden and you, I guess, joking around, and just me in the aftermath of the most dangerous stunt I've ever performed for a film in my life.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting that you say that. I'll obviously get to Phantom Leap because it is on my list here.
Yeah, what sucks about Phantom Leap the most probably is that the spoof we made 6-7 months prior, which is called Hello Duke, is so much better than Phantom Leap in my opinion.
The thing we filmed with the iPhone.
Yeah,
and the thing we filmed with our camera.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, the most common thing about, like, I'd say most of the short films, like, from that I've ranked from number 10 to probably 7 or 6 is that, or 6, 7.
6, 7, 6, 7. Sorry.
Anyways, well, I mean, the most common thing about them is that they're probably not short films that I would like share to. Like, they're probably not short films I would share with people. Like, if people know, oh yeah, I'm involved in short filmmaking. If someone asks me to show them one of their films, I'm not going to show them Phantom Leap or Slacker and the Stalker or some of the other ones I have on here. But that's my number 10, Phantom Leap.
Yeah.
What's your number 10?
My number 10, like I said before, is The Slacker and the Stalker, which is the third short film we made that you wrote and directed yourself, which was, again, a giant experiment for you because we were testing on a new DP, Kyle. And the reason why this is my number 10 is because it has a lot of repetition and it's way too long. It does not need to be 4.5 minutes long. There's a really strange choice of music with Gangsta's Paradise anytime the Stalker comes in, which I just think you just didn't know what else to put there.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
But I do think there's a good use of sound effects and music aside from that, though. I think like the sound effects are on point and the music is good, especially when like you're kind of just casually walking through the woods. So the ending is very funny too.
Yeah.
The ending is funny where I kind of like that's something I always kind of forget about that. Like, the ending is funny where I'm on the beach or my character's on the beach and kind of squirming around.
You're hogtied, yes.
Although it doesn't look like I'm hogtied because you didn't know how to hogtie me. But the two characters are really bare bones, and the Stalker's character has his goal is kind of clear, where it's like, okay, he's going after you, but we don't know why I'm going after you. And I think if we knew why I was going after you, if you had set some stakes there, then I think it would have been a lot stronger thing. And the Stalker's punch in the face, when I get punched in the face by you, that just is way too abrupt, and just like, how do you know about that? Like, it just kind of comes way too quick, in my opinion.
Wait, how do I know about what?
Well, like, obviously you're oblivious to me, like, behind you, and then I charge you, and then you all of a sudden turn around and punch me in the face, like you knew I was there. Yeah. So it's just like, how did you know? Were you just pretending not to know that I was there the whole time, watching you with binoculars?
I'll probably explain my reasoning for why I actually somewhat like Slacker and the Stalker to a certain extent when I get to it on my list, but I'll just say now it's not my number 9.
Okay.
My number 9 it is not the Slacker and the Stalker, but it's actually Carver's Curse.
Okay.
And
why is that?
The first thing I've written down about this one in my notes is that this one is just stupid. And I watched all of the season 1 short films today. Yeah. This, I believe, afternoon, because I didn't wake up till noon today. So I spent 12:30 to almost 2 o'clock just watching all 10 of our short films. And the one thing that was going through my head while watching Carver's Curse was this line: this one is just stupid. Because it is. I mean, if I have pros for it, it's just, the music helps it a lot, and the whole seasonal aspect of having it be fall, and of course there's the great thumbnail with John on the ground. He's been turned into a pumpkin. That's good. And then the part where you're smashing the pumpkin and then where we have the outtake at the end of the film, where your wig falls off and we all start laughing. That's pretty funny. Yeah. But that's all I've written down for pros about Carver's Curse, because the cons of it for me, in a general sense, is that there's a lot of bad acting, and that was of course intentional on your part, because you were doing a bit where you were doing a sort of
a bro douchey character.
And the story itself is just not great. It's about 2 guys who find a pumpkin and then get cursed, and then one of them dies, and then the other one, he destroys it, but then he's still kind of infected at the end. Who knows? Yeah. So
who cares?
It's the story itself is not very good. That's my number 9, Carver's Curse.
Well, my number 9 is not Carver's Curse. My number 9 is actually Sid.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Why is it number 9?
Sid is number 9, and so I think Sid has a good use of music and lining the beats of the cuts on screen. So like anytime there's a music beat, there's like a cut on screen. I think that's good. And the title card I think is great for Sid. But there's a really long static shot at the beginning where you're talking to John that just is not symmetrical at all. Like for some reason you're like kind of off to the side. And I'm just like, I was watching that and I'm like, wow, I just didn't even bother to like line that up.
I didn't notice that, but hey man, you were the DP of that. You directed it, so of
there are
course
also
you're gonna
some
hate it.
intense struggles with lighting and lots of hard shadows that I just didn't notice before. Clips in the montage sequence happen a bit too fast for the viewer to see, and some of the clips are edited cleverly and on point with the music, while others just aren't for some reason, and I just don't think I had enough clips. We should have filmed more montage like clips, I think. I think that would have made it better. And there's just lots of randomness with the computer background changing during the montage.
It changes to.
Who do we have? We have Ezra
We have Ezra Miller on there. We have Max Landis.
Yeah.
And then someone else.
Who was the other person we had?
Lots of people in nerd pop culture who have done not good things outside of the
I don't know
work.
what the thinking was there. I don't think there.
I mean, because it was just a huge goof to have them in there.
Yeah, Andy, who our buddy John Nethercott plays, may be the worst character in the entire season. I just think he's terrible. And that's not John's fault. That's
Sydney
mine.
Botts, tell me, what did you regret in this life?
Yeah, I just don't think John, love him, but John playing a kind of death character is not what he should do. And again, obviously with Sid, I wrote that the day before we shot it because Jaden canceled. We were going to film a different project called I'm Going to Sleep. Jaden canceled on us last minute, so I had to pivot and do this. So Sid was kind of like, in a perfect world, Sid shouldn't exist. But there are a couple really cool shots in Sid, but that's just about it. I thought there were a lot more, but there are a couple really cool shots. And there's lots of continuity errors and editing mistakes that that kind of happen real quick because it's of how it's edited. And the music really makes the ending epic, but the acting does not. I don't think the acting performances, no offense to you, Luke, I don't think you or John's acting performances are that great. And I think that's just because of how rushed the production was. And the script is just kind of sloppy and just needed revisions, and I just didn't revise it because I was like, okay, we have to film something for my class.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we did what we could with it, so I do have a layer of respect for it there. But it's a lot of people's favorite short film of ours, and I just think that it could have been so much better, which is why
it's the first time where we dealt with a serious topic in kind of a serious way, because it's spoilers, but that one ends where Sid, the main character, he dies of alcohol
poisoning. Yeah.
Well, he chokes out his own vomit, so he has an overdose. But yeah, okay. My number 8 is The Slacker and the Stalker.
Okay.
What is obvious about Slacker and the Stalker is that it's a remake of Seeking Competition. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I intended to do when I was directing it. And for a film that's a slow burn, it does move.
Yeah.
It does move along. I mean, it's similar to Seeking Competition in that it's pretty easy to understand, and instead of Seeking Competition, this one ends with not just one, but 2 punchlines. Yep. Where I punch you in the face and then I hog tie you at the end, and he's all crying and shit. But we've definitely seen much worse short films than Slacker and the Stalker. That's what I'll say about it.
Well, my number 8 is a film you already had, and that was your number 9, I believe, Carver's Curse.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I wrote down is John and I, who are the lead actors in it, don't have very good chemistry. We don't have good chemistry at all. It's us two seem
Wait,
like
Max, what are you talking about? Your character literally kisses John's character on the forehead. You have amazing chemistry.
That is the bit. Yeah, exactly. Characters shouldn't have to kiss to have good chemistry. Even we've seen it before. In crappy romance movies where you see characters kissing. And again, I don't kiss John on the lips. I kiss him on the forehead for some reason. It was kind of an improv thing. And
It sure was.
And I was I felt bad doing it, but John was like, "Oh no, it's okay." So I was like, "All right, cool." But
I'm sorry, John.
John's character is acting normal, like himself, while my character is acting like a bro douchey guy. So we seem like an unlikely pair.
Well, Max, it works for how your character looks. He's in a leather jacket. He's got long curly hair and a baseball cap.
Yeah, I just wanted to look different.
Yeah.
And then me casually checking my watch after carving a punch. Me casually checking my watch after carving the pumpkin because I'm late for a date with Tina from the Burger King. is just really random, and we don't touch on that at all at the end. Like, you
No,
don't.
Max, it's an excuse to get your character to leave.
Yeah, but like
That's
it's
what
just
it
kind of
is.
a weird excuse.
Why? Did you want Tina to show up and go, "Oh my God, are you cursed"?
Probably would have made the short film better.
Did you want Tina to be in the
given us our first female role in that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we had to cut our first female role from Carver's Curse.
An actor I worked with, her name was Sammy. We did a film together at the U of M called Gopher Combs. Her and I were the leads, but she was definitely the lead of that one. But I got her to, we got her to be in the beginning and end of Carver's Curse, and unfortunately we had to cut her scene due to some unforeseen circumstances. It was not her fault. She did a great job. I would love to work with Sammy again. I think she is very talented and one of the best actors I've ever worked with. But
You worked with her in a short film for the University of Minnesota called Gopher Combs.
I said that literally 20 seconds ago.
Oh, God damn it! I'm so sorry.
Listen, Luke.
I mean, hey, man.
Anyway,
This is, I mean, this is staying in for sure.
on the topic of kind of things being abrupt and strange, my stomach just gives out as soon as I approach the Biffy, which is just really too convenient. I'm walking up to the Biffy, I'm fine, and then all of a sudden my stomach.
Max, pause. Explain what a Biffy is to.
Biffy is a porta potty. It's what film people call a porta potty. That's what a Biffy is.
Okay.
That's what a Biffy. Yeah. But it's just way too convenient. But the best shot of the whole film is the shot of me tugging on the Biffy handle from below, and that's a reference to the shot in The Shining.
Yeah.
And it's also a shot that we did in a little spoof I made for class that we posted to the second channel called Luke Kicks a Porta Potty, which for some reason is like 50 seconds long, has 17,000 views.
That's right.
Which I don't know why, out of all of the
I forgot about
live
that.
content to blow up, I mean, not really blow up, but like 17,000 views on you kicking a porta potty is just insane.
Just
I'm
like,
just like,
what?
because all you do is you walk up to the porta potty, you take a picture, you walk up to the porta potty, kick it, when you can't get in, leave.
What?
But 17,000 views. Don't know why.
It's the AI algorithms.
The over-the-top sound effects of Carver's Curse make the film kind of watchable, and kind of cartoony. When Valen, the porta potty man, asks me if I'm okay, I don't look sick at all. I just look angry that I puked, and I got one thing of pumpkin seed hanging.
You don't want to eat that shit though, Max.
And I just shouldn't look angry. I should look sick. But the best part of the film, like you mentioned, is undoubtedly the ending where I begin to mutate into a pumpkin and destroy the original pumpkin that I had carved, unfortunately off screen earlier. But the ending song was good and the sound effects were good. So I think those are my two things that I like about Carver's Curse. The ending song and just the overall ending of it is my favorite. Not my favorite ending we've done, but yeah, it's one of my. It's definitely the best part of that mess of a film. All right, Luke, what is your number 7?
Number 7. It's one you've already talked about on here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on. At number 7, I have Sid.
Sid.
Yeah. On my notes here, I've written for prose. It's got good editing, good music choices. There's some decent cinematography for your first time, Max. And hold on a sec. And I do like some of the little gags in it, such as how I tossed the novel Blood Meridian into a perfect upright position on the couch. That was fantastic. Yes. And yeah, I mean, there are like small things that I like about it, and it does work as an effective cautionary tale, as our grandmother has said it is. But the main things I really don't like about it are just my acting in it. It's just I didn't know what I was doing when we were shooting it, and that's so clear in the final product. And I mean, if you mix my acting with the dialogue that you had written for this character of Sid, at times it's like you're eating a peanut butter and ham sandwich. It's just those two ingredients don't mix in that specific thing, and it's just
And I think also part of it is just kind of the topic, and as an actor you want to really have an emotional connection to what you're doing, or at least try to. And it was about a guy who has a drinking problem, and obviously you're the only person on that set who hadn't had a drop of alcohol until the day we filmed.
Yeah, I mean, had my first beer, PBR.
Again, obviously Sid was not the original plan. We were going to do a film called I'm Going to Sleep, which starred Luke, Jaden, and John. And Jaden was going to be the main character of it, but he obviously couldn't make it.
John was going to play a corpse in that one.
Yeah, John had like one line in it. He was going to play a corpse.
Yeah.
Because we loved his work in Carver's Curse as a corpse.
That's right, yeah.
My number 7 is a film you talked about, Phantom Leap. And
why is that number 7? Wow.
First, I'm going to explain the bad things about it. So no idea why Jane is so fascinated with his apartment pool at the beginning. Why does he leave his laundry basket up there? But there are some really cool panning shots of the pool and decent shots of Jane investigating the pool area.
Speak to yourself. Speak to your own ego.
Well, I mean, I think the close-up shots are cool. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of like, all right, what's he doing? And it becomes more suspenseful once the Phantom shows up. And I think Jane's reaction shots, while they're a little over the top, it's a silent film, and I think they're pretty good. Like, I don't think...
I didn't write this down in my notes, but when I was watching Phantom Leap today, I just couldn't help it but get the feeling that Jane, he just looks confused in every single shot he's in. Yeah. He just, like, he has one emotion, confusion.
And the Phantom concept is creepy, especially when you see him in the laundry room, until he leaps into the pool. From then on, it becomes a farce with bloopers that go on for way too long. It doesn't need to be 2 minutes of bloopers. But it's funny seeing you describe being on the ledge for 10 minutes in costume. I thought that was, you know, I think that's funny. You said, oh, it was like being buried alive.
Yeah.
And also something weird that I forgot we did during it was, for some reason, I don't know why we did this, was we decided to credit Jaden as an executive producer for Phantom Leap, despite the fact that he didn't pay for anything during the production. He's actually wearing your clothes and all that stuff. So I'm like, I don't know why we gave him an executive producer credit. Because like the executive producer is someone who like pays for things and funds things, and Jaden didn't pay a penny for it. We just gave him a for some reason.
I'm pretty sure at some point when we were either making that one or Curtain Whalen, Jaden and I, we went to McDonald's at some point, and for some reason, Max, you weren't with me, but Jaden bought you a meal. So for that, he gets an executive producer credit.
Okay.
Out of short film. I don't fucking know why he's credited as that.
That was a nice thing of him, though.
I don't know. Sorry.
Nice, yeah. Anyway, what is your number 6, Luke?
Number 6. Number 6. My number 6 is The Midnight Special.
Okay.
And the first thing I have in my notes about it is that it's not one of our worst short films, but it's certainly not one of our best.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of feels like a combination of like well, Curtain Whalen, Sid, and Phantom Leap, right?
Yeah.
If you really think about it, it's kind of all three of those films if they were forced into one super film. But the things I like about this one is that the fact that I decided to make this a noir comedy that was in black and white and have it be kind of a throwback to that era of cinema. I mean, that saved the film's quality from being far worse.
Yes.
And no matter what anybody else has to say about this, I think that the inclusion of the Creedence Clearwater Revival band song, The Midnight Special, that really elevates the film. Mm-hmm. And it says a lot about like the actual like theme and like the point of the whole story is if you really sort of think about it. But that kind of leads me into the problems with the movie. Is that like, well, you mentioned the other day that when you first showed The Midnight Special to our parents, our mom didn't really get the ending. So then like you kind of had to explain it to her, and then she watched it again, and it's like, okay, you know, it's a bit more clear that it's about Whalen's reaction to it, and like
reaction to being sent the anonymous note rather than who sent the note.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. But I mean, and like, I guess is a sort of con about this movie is that like it does feel like the second episode of Curtain Whalen. Like if Curtain Whalen was a series, which it kind of now is going to be like with season 2. Mm-hmm. But if The Midnight Special is the second episode, it does feel like the natural, weaker follow-up to the pilot episode. So that would have been the Curtain Whalen short film. So I guess that's really all I have to say about The Midnight Special. I mean, it got a good reaction when he showed it to your classmates back in, December? Mm-hmm. So that was cool, but yeah, I mean, it's not one of our best short films, but it's really not one of our worst.
Well, I'm actually going to disagree with you on the point where you said that it's a weak sequel to Kurt and Wayland, because number 6 is actually Kurt and Wayland for me.
Really?
And the opening of Kurt and Wayland is very strange, with Kurt on Tinder matching with Jean from A College Christmas Story. That's a throwaway joke that doesn't relate at all to what the story is about.
Why does it have to relate to it?
Well, because I think in a short film, you like in the first minute, you have to tell the audience, okay, this is what it's about. The explanation...
I'm sure we do that, though.
The explanation of who Alexis is also takes way too long. Like Kurt pulling up her Instagram and stuff, and then Wayland having the reaction. I think it's funny, but it just takes way too long.
Okay.
In fact, the opening itself just takes way too long, and it's filled with a bunch of unnecessary crap that could have just been cut in half, or not even half, just cut entirely, and just her being there.
Maybe.
And we don't need to see her Instagram.
Yeah, we do.
Wayland's montage in the shower is funny, as well as him coming out with a towel with Alexis already there. That's funny. But Wayland flexing in the mirror and saying who's going to give Lex the sex is very cringeworthy and awkward, and it makes a lot of sense why that was the moment that it got booed by a crowd of 200 plus people at Screamin' Off Scream.
Yeah.
Because it's just a really awkward and awkward film, and the erotic music really makes it feel that way. And the fact that Wayland can't find any of his t-shirts all of a sudden when he comes back out is just a lame excuse. And Kurt goes in there to help Wayland find his t-shirts, but Wayland doesn't go in there with him. He stays out here.
So these are your cons, your problems.
Yeah, and then Wayland introducing himself to Alexis is very awkward, but in a kind of a funny way. And the handshake is funny.
Everything you're saying to me is shit I laughed my ass off watching Kurt and Wayland again today.
But I think Kurt telling Wayland how important the class is a good scene, because it sets up the stakes of like, okay, I need to pass this class. However, when Kurt is asleep next to Alexis in the next scene, it seems just inconsistent. Like, okay, he's telling Wayland, okay, the Wayland, this class is super important to me, don't bother me. And then Kurt's just sleeping in the next scene, like next to Alexis, while she does all the work.
It's super important that she does all the work. That's what he...
Right. And then...
That's what he means.
Wayland's scream is very funny and unexpected then on. And then Kurt going after the mice in Wayland's bedroom is kind of strange, because he's like, oh crap, they're back. So we kind of established the fact that Wayland's room had a mouse problem, which we never have followed up on.
Maybe that'll be in a different Kurt and Wayland episode.
And Wayland's awkward attempt to get Alexis to stay is definitely the highlight of the film. However, his flexing on Alexis is painfully awkward, and when she leaves and gives Kurt a dirty look, the awkwardness just intensifies. And the ending punchline is comical and shows that both Kurt and Wayland did not change at all throughout the entire film. If anybody changed, it was actually Alexis, because she takes charge and leaves, putting Wayland in his place.
So Max, that's what you like in short films: change. You want to see characters change.
Character development, yeah. But the bloopers at the end of Kurt and Wayland are definitely their funniest.
Says the guy who loves Beavis and Butthead. Yeah,
that's the whole gag with those two, is they don't change. Those two.
Maybe that was the whole gag of Kurt and Wayland.
I just don't think you and I are on the same page about who the characters were. And I think
no way we weren't, because I wrote it and then you directed it and then I edited this and I was like, whoa, this is wacky.
Yeah, granted, I think you, Jaden, and Caitlin Blomberg, who plays Alexis, do a great job with your roles. It's just kind of a painfully awkward short film. And I think most of it is because we marketed it as an erotic comedy, which...
It is! It is!
And...
Damn, dude, that's your number 6?
And, yeah, it's...
Kurt and Wayland is your number 6.
Yes, it is my number 6.
Well, my number 5 is Singing Competition.
Okay.
The pros I've written down is that it's short, simple, it's easy to understand, and it ends with a satisfying punchline in the context of a short film, because it's like, 2 minutes long? Mm-hmm. It's really freaking short. The cons I have for Singing Competition is that there are some noticeable mistakes, such as the shot where your character's talking and you can clearly see the lav mic on his chest that's taped to his chest. Mm-hmm. And there's the shot where it's the zoom in on the traffic sign, which is just, that's stuff you and I have already talked about before. And just the dialogue it's super corny, it's super over the top, even though I am fully aware that I came up with this idea for this short film, and it was going to be, your character was based off of a certain person who we knew in high school who behaved like your character in Singing Competition. So yeah, there's that, but it's just, just not really my cup of tea.
Okay.
But like, I mean, it is effective in how quick it is. It's you know, it's certainly a good short film, but it's just not my favorite one. I mean, it's made my top 5 right now, but like, I'm sure if we were to include like some of our other stuff, such as Soberman or The Outsiders or Hello Duke or some other films like that, then City Competition would by no means be in like my favorites list. But you know, still, it's a good short film.
Yeah, half star for that ending too. Me getting hit by the truck. My number 5 is a film you talked about, is The Midnight Special.
Okay.
I think The Midnight Special has a solid opening with quick cuts that make the continuity mistakes not noticeable. But poor lighting again. But the black and white colors save it, and still has the awkward humor that the original Kurt and Wayland had. But I think it's just more tame. The phone call conversation with Esme is funny, but goes on a bit too long. But I think it's really interesting to see Wayland try and be genuine with Esme, but then getting kind of flamed by her because he's actually trying, and I think that's good. And the cuts of the different things in the living room during the phone call definitely make that scene flow better, even if there are continuity mistakes. And the idea with the lighter of Wayland's like, Kurt, let me see that lighter, there might be invisible ink, is a bit abrupt, and I wish we could have done more with the idea, like Wayland burning his hand or something. But playing with fire is dangerous.
Yeah,
and,
there's no way we're doing that.
It's funny that Kurt rushes in with the Brita picture. That was your idea.
It was, yeah.
But I think The Midnight Special has some really good close-up shots of the characters that make the scenes feel more personal, especially of Wayland. But I do think the shot reverse shots are a bit overused. But by and large, the best part of The Midnight Special, in my personal opinion, is undoubtedly the Snapchat video montage. It really shows Wayland unraveling in real time. And I didn't write a script for that. Like, I didn't write any dialogue for that scene. I was going to let Jaden just completely improvise it, and he did. He did a great job kind of playing this pathetic character and unraveling. And the montage is also a decent length because it shows the damage that Wayland's unknowingly inflicting to his image and reputation. And there are some just good close-up shots cutting back and forth between the Snapchat and just the actual filming itself. And when Wayland's staying up late after Kurt leaves, the close-ups of him like looking on his phone and rewatching the video are pretty good. But except what really bothers me about that scene is that there's continuity issues with Jane's phone because it says like 11:58 on there.
Yeah,
despite
yeah.
the fact that I'm cutting back to the microwave clock and it's saying like 1:30 a.m.
I've noticed that on certain rewatches, yeah.
But the troll notes are very funny, and there's a good use of music as it escalates and then stops when Wayland retreats to his bedroom. He's like, I hate college. Like you've said before, I wish we could have seen what was on the noon special note. But the ending is underwhelming, yet I think it's a realistic ending. And Kurt choosing not to pursue the note maker is a decision, like you mentioned earlier, that not a lot of people pick up on during their first watch. They're kind of like, okay, it just ends. But Kurt is actively. It's again, the Midnight Special is not who sent Wayland the note. It's about how Wayland reacts to the note, and he kind of like Sid. There's 3 strikes. Where Wayland's first strike is he calls Esme, gets flamed, and he can give up there, but he's like, no. Kurt hand me that lighter. He tries to do the invisible ink thing, burns the note. And then Kurt's just like, all right, Wayland, chill. It's just a misunderstanding. And then when Wayland's like, no, I need to find out who sent it. It's Wayland time. And he makes the Snapchat videos, and then that's when his classmates and the other people in the college send him slide troll notes under his door because they all know where Wayland the White Wolf lives. And then Kurt wakes up and is like, what's this? And then when Wayland leaves, the same note maker before slides another envelope under the door that says the noon special, not the midnight special. And Kurt reads the note, but we don't see what it says. And he opens the door and sees the door nearby shutting, so the person who slid the note there is still there. Kurt could decide to pursue him, pursue the note maker, but decides not to and shuts the door.
Well, yeah, and a part of that is because it's not like Kurt's going to confront someone. That's not in character for him.
I think Kurt making that decision when I wrote it, it was just like him trying to protect Wayland and just trying to protect Wayland from unraveling again.
Yeah.
Because he saw how Wayland reacted to the troll notes, he stormed off, and he's like, okay, if Wayland knows who this person is, Wayland's going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
I don't want him to do that. So that was kind of my thinking when I wrote that scene. But again, I wrote that like I said, I wrote the Midnight Special the day we shot it.
It was the same situation with Sid, pretty much.
Yeah, no, this is the film I actually made for class, my second film production class, and when I introduced it, I said it was bad, and
Yeah, that was painful to watch, Max, because I knew it was probably going to be a lot better than most of the short films that your classmates were presenting, and it certainly was. But then, the first thing this one motherfucker says, like once the Midnight Special like it's done playing, he goes, Max, never talk down about your films before you've let them show. Never do that. And like, this is one motherfucker who didn't even have a film to show because he couldn't get people to do it.
Yeah, and he's right though. Like, I shouldn't have done that. And but again, I set everyone's expectations really low, and then they actually liked it. So I was like,
yeah, but
again, it was just I wasn't feeling very good about it because it was just rushed and has a lot of rookie mistakes. But again, it's one that I'm glad exists, even though I do think that one is a bit vulgar and has some scenes in it that are just kind of dragged on for a little too long. But yeah, what is your number 4? Now we're getting into the other ones.
Have any of ours like synced up yet, or
no? I don't think we have a matching one.
My number 4. Oh, hold on. Number 4. Number 4 is. Have you already said your number 5? Sorry about that.
Yeah, number 5 was the Midnight Special.
Okay, my number 4. Hopefully this is where like we start to sync up.
Yeah.
My number 4 is the Weed Wizard.
Okay.
Is that your number 4?
No, it is not.
God damn it. Okay, like for the pros of this film, this is our big epic, I'd say. Mm-hmm. For the cons I have with the Weed Wizard, it's that the opening shot, you can't really hear what the people are saying, but that's kind of like, it doesn't really matter what they're saying because it's just it's got the song Julie Paradise playing, by the Screaming Trees. It's a great song. And then, of course, like, it's the epic sequence where, like, we introduced, like, the cast of the film, which got a great response from the watch party, from the cast and crew. But some other stuff I don't like about it is the flashback sequence with Lyle is not great. Because that was the last thing that we even shot for that. Mm-hmm. Well,
no, it wasn't.
It was the last thing that we thought we were going to shoot, but then like we did the whole thing where like we made it a sequel to Doppelgangers. But yeah, and then the part of the movie like where the cops show up. I mean, that's what it just becomes fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. And so those parts were a little meh for me, but besides that, I mean, Weed Wizards, it's pretty dang. It's pretty dang wild. Well, and I guess this is just a small thing. Because the thing about the Weed Wizard is that there are 2 versions of it that exist. There's, I guess, the theatrical cut that we showed people when we did a watch party for it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the sequel to Doppelgangers.
Yes, and then there's the extended edition, which was the stuff that you put in the script, Max, where the Weed Wizard, he cuts his hair, he abandons his identity, but then me and Jaden's characters, we get arrested and we get mugshots and stuff. But that ending just was
yeah, it wasn't
too wacky. And the thing about having it be a direct sequel to Doppelgangers was because I just kind of wanted to be meta and sort of address the fact that this movie was just crazy, but to add some substance to it, it should be connected to one of our stronger films, which you and I have yet to talk about on this list, which is Doppelgangers.
Well, that's a perfect segue into my number 4, which is Doppelgangers.
Okay.
So Doppelgangers, right off the bat, has great editing and music choices, and an intriguing opening with Henry describing his messy bowel movement. I think you and me both, Luke, and everyone who is listening has a couple bowel movement horror stories that they can share. And I
was taking the shit, right? That is one of my favorite openings to any short film I've ever seen, which does not mean glazing us, but it's just so iconic and unique to me.
Yeah, but anyway, after they talk about that, Lyle, Henry tells Axel, yeah, my friend Lyle just wants to meet him here and invites Axel to tag along, and Axel's like, oh, thanks, appreciate it, but I don't know, like, Axel, like, Henry and Axel don't really know why.
Well, I mean, for some context about how we shot Doppelgangers, the first day we shot was just a giant disaster.
Yeah.
And so the second day that we had to shoot, I went completely off script and just told everybody to just, like, kind of do their own thing, but like, still get the general points of each scene across and each shot and stuff. So that's why there's like some things that are kind of left unexplained, because of course, you know, they probably came from off-camera gags, like the part where Jaden goes to greet Luke Renstrom and he goes, Lyle, bro, give me some sugar, bro, and like we never addressed that, but like what's that from exactly?
Jaden made a TikTok on one of the TikTok accounts that I don't think the TikTok account longer any. No. Jaden made a TikTok on a TikTok account that no longer exists, where he was. I can't remember the context of it, but it was he was doing a voiceover from, or like he was lip syncing to Benson's line from regular show. What? Go give him some sugar.
Yeah.
But the way Jaden was moving his arms was super funny.
And for some context, that means like you're gonna give someone a hug.
Yeah.
And then of course, Jaden, like, he daps up Luke Renstrom, so he's like, Lyle, bro, give me some sugar, bro. Like, yeah, but
anyway, I think there's good improv and awkward dialogue between Axel and Lyle.
There's good improv and awkward dialogue, but you hate the awkwardness.
Well, I think like the awkwardness is good because, like, you know, we say like, oh, we haven't seen each other in a while, like, oh, we had high school chemistry together, 11th grade. You know what? I think we did. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when I'm meeting somebody I haven't seen for the first time, like, you know, that's kind of how we react. We kind of like talk about what we remember before kind of getting into personal things, and I think Axel and Lyle do that. But Lyle is just way too casual about being robbed by the Sunday Clown. He's like, me and my boy Patty, we got robbed.
Well,
I mean, and it's Lyle's house that got robbed. And he lost his phone.
Well, I mean, we had planned to do other stuff where, like, he pulls out the note the Sunday Clown left him, but then we're just like, dude, we got to just make this movie its own movie. So, like, yeah, I mean, like, there's like a one-off reference to the Sunday Clown in it, and that's it.
Well, anyway, the MVP of this video is Jaden.
Yeah.
And his reaction to, like, Lyle bringing the edibles as gold, like, where he's really, like, he really brings a lot of energy, which is good. And the energy that Jaden brings to the film is really heightened by the excellent music score.
Yeah.
And there's a great title sequence and montage, but I think personally the montage drags on a bit too long because we see Axel become hostile toward Lyle during the montage for some reason. Because Lyle tries, I mean, I know what I say to Luke Renstrom during it. Like, Luke, I said kind of something kind of personal to him, and he kind of like hit me. Like, it was nothing like bad or anything, but I said something. I said the name of a girl he used to like, or a girl that used to like him, I think. And then he kind of like was like, "What? How'd you know about that?" Like, kind of attacks me, but obviously it's muted. Axel becomes hostile towards Lyle during the montage, and then Henry does, and then so I'm just like, why is Axel such a jerk in the montage sequence?
I mean,
and
all right.
Doppelgangers and Carver's Curse are two back-to-back, because those Doppelgangers is the fourth film and Carver's Curse is the fifth film.
Yes.
And those are two back-to-back films where a character played by me, Max Jasper, has stomach issues.
That's just my own. I mean, I'm the director and writer of both those films, and dude, that just says a lot about my sense of humor.
But I do think that my facial expressions and noises I made when I'm trying to drop a deuce are pretty good and realistic. But it just might be unclear to the audience what I'm trying to do when I like leave, like, because I kind of storm off and like my stomach is like makes a noise, but then you don't really see me pull down my pants, obviously. I didn't want to, or pull down my shorts. And then for some reason after I try and drop a deuce, but I can't, Axel, when he's unable to get his belt back on for some reason, then just just gives up and throws it off.
Yeah.
But your tackle of me, because Luke, you played the stunt doppelganger.
I did, yeah.
Is pretty good.
Thank you.
Though, like that was like we did. Like,
I tackled you into my old mattress.
The first time you tackled me, we missed the mattress and it hurt real bad.
You did. I was fine. I was completely fine. But then you're like, oh God, oh get off me, But
anyway, there's some over-the-top fart sound effects which are good, and then solid acting by Luke Renstrom when he meets doppelganger Axel, because when he's kind of like confused, and then. But one of my favorite things about this film is just there are two screams. Luke Renstrom screams and Jane screams. Both screams are great.
Yes.
Luke Renstrom scream we did once, and that was like we didn't because we were like all right Luke, scream off camera. We might do this a couple times, and then Luke screams, and I think you and I both look at each other like, that was perfect. We don't need to do that again.
Yeah.
So his scream is great. And there's some, I mean, this film is a lot of wide shots, which is unfortunate, but there are some really cool wide shots in this that kind of they're kind of balanced nicely. Jaden's scream is also great, and his exaggerating depiction of a panic attack is kind of it's kind of a spoof about how idiot horror movie characters act when they're kind of in a precarious situation.
I remember when we showed doppelgangers to our mom, she was like, "Run away, Jaden, run away!" When like he's just standing there like screaming and freaking out. He's like, "What do I do? What do I do?"
But this film, Doppelgangers, is definitely a bit more comedy than it is horror. These characters, especially Jaden's, are just really dumb. But it's interesting how kind of the doppelgangers pick out the characters, in my opinion, from smartest to dumbest. So they go after Axel first, and then Lyle, and then Jaden.
Yeah.
Or then Henry.
I can't say if that was intentional or not, but I just knew that I wanted like Jaden to be the main character at the end.
And I think the post-credit scene is fantastic, but unfortunately it's ruined by a blurry shot of the edibles on the little, what is that thing, like a mountain of rocks or whatever at Fraser Park?
Some sort of display.
Yeah, and there's also the shadow of the shotgun mic on the camera as well. So I think the ending would have been good if that shot was in focus. And that's unfortunate, but that's okay, you know.
That kind of segues to what's my number 3, which is Doppelgangers, and I pretty much totally agree with everything you said about like the pros of the movie and stuff, but like I mean the cons of it is just like there's a lot of out of focus camera work. The audio is all over the place.
The audio is bad, yeah.
And, there's just, like, some of the sequences with the text that appears that I just don't like anymore. And that's really because I didn't really experiment with, like, different text feature options when I was editing it. I just found what we actually used for it and just thought, okay, good enough. But, like, now I'd probably have done something far different than what I actually did, but hey, that's probably because I've been editing movies now for like 2.5 years, something like that.
Short films, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just what happens. But yeah, so that was my number 3, and that was your number 4, right?
Yes, that was my number 4. So my number 3 is The Weed Wizard.
Really, number 3.
The Weed Wizard. So to be clear, Luke mentioned this earlier, there are 2 cuts of The Weed Wizard that exist. I'm going to be talking about the theatrical cut, which is, I think Luke and I are the only people who actually prefer the theatrical cut.
The Doppelganger sequel,
The Doppelganger sequel, or Luke and I are the only ones who prefer that one over the other one.
Yeah.
The previously on opening is very intriguing because it sets up the stakes. But then the opening shot is way too long and way too uncomfortable. You can't hear anything. The music is too loud. And the whole argument between Henry and about Axel's sister just doesn't matter at all to the story. It should have just been the opening montage of the 3 characters just taking the edible gummies and eating them like candy.
Yeah.
Which again, we do that. We use edibles as kind of a modern tool of drama because I first used edibles in Sunday Clown because I'm like, okay, well, the characters take the edibles. We don't know if the clown is real or just a figment of their imagination because taking edible THC products is a very common thing that college-age students do, and I learned that when I went to college and lived on campus. But my character Axel, again, this was improv. I just swear an unnecessary amount.
Oh, so do I in that movie.
Yeah, but it's like I guess it's good that I'm skeptical of Henry's story because he doesn't actually interact with the Weed Wizard.
Yeah, and then you get killed at the end.
And the Weed Wizard's introduction with the jungle music is very quietly funny. And the Weed Wizard summoning the box is really random. In fact, his entire appearance is very random. He kind of just pops in.
Yeah, it is.
And then it kind of, in my opinion, it takes too long for him to disappear when he's at the balcony. I just think like I thought he was gonna. My initial plan was lightning was gonna strike and boom, he's gone. But like you kind of like the way you edited it, where like he kind of stands at the balcony, holds up his hands, nothing happens, and then boom, he's gone.
I thought that was funny. That's why I did it. I thought it'd be funny if he just like faded away.
Speaking of random, the appearances of Officer Blake and Kelly are incredibly random. Once they arrive, it becomes a comical farce that just lacks any sense at all.
Well, Max, explain to the people who Officer Blake and Kelly are.
So, Officer Blake and Kelly are played by 2 of our filmmaker friends, Jack and Will Ville, Bessinen. Jack and Ville, or I don't Ville Will.
Jack and Will.
Jack and Will.
That's who we credited them as. We're gonna call them that.
Jack and Will, and we met them while working on a film with our buddy John, who you've seen John.
We've talked about him
Yeah.
already.
He did a film called The Short Film That Goes Wrong, where Luke and I played the leads in it, and we also produced it. Will and Jack played Officer Blake and Kelly. And I'm like, okay, we got to get him into one of our videos somehow. And this was right after we filmed The Short Film That Goes Wrong, and so Luke came up with the idea for the Weed Wizard, but his original ending wasn't that great. So I'm like, okay, we got to have something escalate. So I'm like, how about these cops characters just come in and just cause chaos? Because I thought that'd be funny. But it just it didn't really make a whole lot of sense for that to happen. Yeah, but thankfully, in my opinion, the epilogue saves the film with Patrick addressing the chaotic stupidity of the story and how dumb it is to take a handful of edibles.
Yeah.
And it's good to see Patrick finally taking charge, especially after his outing in Sunday Clown, where he kind of just was duped. And then, this is kind of just a weird little note, but Henry flicks off Patrick as he leaves, but in the previous shot, he was last seen smiling, which is just weird. Just inconsistent. But the ending of the epilogue of The Weed Wizard is an excellent throwback to Doppelgangers with the music. And Henry seeing his doppelganger become the new Weed Wizard is definitely our most epic ending yet, in my opinion. And the great score accompanies the final scene. And the credit sequence is excellent, and the post-credit sequence is also very good. And it's my favorite ending to all of the short films in season 1. So that is my number 3. What is your number 2, Luke?
Well, I mean, they're probably obvious. What 2 short films have I not talked about yet?
Kurt Whalen and Sunday Clown.
Yes.
So number 2 is Kurt Whalen.
Wrong.
Really?
Number 2 is Sunday Clown, the 2026 director's cut, which as of recording this, we just put out on YouTube.
Yes, yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm assuming Sunday Clown is your number 1.
Tell me about why it's your number 2. Don't assume. Could be my number 2.
Well, Sunday Clown is my number 2 because, the first thing I've written down is that an underlying positive that I have for this movie that I noticed when I watched it again today is that Sunday Clown does a great job of setting both myself and Luke Renstrom up to be on the same team against a greater threat who has an advantage over them. Mm-hmm. And it's very exciting to see them try and get back into the house and all the stuff that goes on. Like they run around the other side of the house. They have to get in through the garage, and then they can't get in through the front door, but there's a sign that shows too late with the Sunday Clown's like his pictures there. And then they just barely get in the house, and then they scramble in there and go, "You better stop, asshole, we're calling the cops." And then they just immediately go for their valuables, but then they're just gone. And then of course they see the note, and then of course that leads into the new content in the director's cut, which I didn't include in the original version for some reason. But yeah, but the best part of the short film is easily the shifts in momentum from scenes that are slow and sinister, like how the movie starts off with Patrick and Lyle, they reunite with the Sunday Clown, he's lurking outside, to the upbeat and exciting parts of when the Sunday Clown, he gets both of the characters' attentions, and then they go outside, and of course it starts to stuff where they're running, and then the music is so crazy and energetic. So yeah, those are my biggest takeaways from Sunday Clown. But the only problem I have with the 2026 director's cut is that you posted it on my personal computer, right, Max? Mm-hmm. While I was at work at my day job, and you, without telling me, you posted the version with the subtitles.
Yeah, I thought that was better.
But I made the version with subtitles to be in tandem with the Edibles trilogy, which is Sunday Clown, Doppelgangers, and the Weed Wizard. Which is why when my character speaks, he has the red text, right? Mm-hmm. Because that was the color of a shirt that I wore in the Weed Wizard.
Yeah.
And just, I don't think the subtitles are I suppose it now speaks to my personal preference, but I would not have recommended we post the version with subtitles. Like, I mean, because going forward for our short films, I don't want to have subtitles be in there. Like with Soberman, which we haven't put out as of recording this, I'm not doing subtitles for that.
Really?
No. Like with Kurt and Waylon, and then of course the Midnight Special, it kind of works there, because like, I don't know, like, I mean, because we were like still pretty green to making short films that were of a certain quality, but like from here on out, like, nah, subtitles I don't really want to do, unless we're doing something like where a character is speaking like a foreign language or something like that, or like if, yeah, but those are my thoughts on Sunday Clown.
Yeah.
That's my number 2.
That is my number 2 is Seeking Competition.
Yeah.
So I think Seeking Competition has a good use of music and a good opening shot with text that is brought in and then out by the two characters. And musically, that's a throwback app. The music perfectly matches each character's intensity. So your character is kind of calm, he's kind of on a casual run. Then my character is really intense, kind of sprinting. But again, like you mentioned, the lab mic is visible on my bare chest when I say "getting slow, old man." And the shot of the stoplight crossing. The shot of the stoplight crosswalk sign changing is blurry, and that always bothers me anytime I watch it.
Yeah.
But there is a cameo by 2 old ladies after that scene, which I think is kind of funny.
No, that's right.
And it's just good, quick shots and solid editing, making the film tight and snappy. But the ending, it's a little predictable. But yeah, it's funny that it's just funny, and it caps up just a solid short film that's just nice and quick. And I think that's just the best part of it. It's tight, it's real quick. The concept is there, and I think it's just really solid. I just think it has a couple minor mistakes, but aside from that, I think it's one of our best films.
Seeking Competition is your number 2.
Correct.
So that means, obviously, the Sunday Clown director's cut is number 1, which, of course, I knew because you told me that like yesterday.
Did I?
Yeah, probably. But my number 1 was your number 6.
Kurt Whalen, yes.
Kurt Whalen. Here is why. I watched all these short films today in a row, right? And I laughed my ass off watching Kurt Whalen from start to finish. I thought this was so funny. That's why it's my number 1.
It was writer to his own horn. He wrote the film.
Well, no. Well, I mean...
And you're also in it. You credit yourself as the lead actor in
it. Here's the thing, though. It's so bad, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Every line in it is like so iconic to me. So tender, huh? You mentioned that he bitches yet? Like that is such a crude way to start the film, but like it's so memorable to me. Mm-hmm. Pretty much every line in it is super memorable to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, comedy is subjective, and this short film is certainly not for everybody, but like it's, you know, I like it. I think it's a lot of it speaks to a certain sense of humor that I have and stuff like that. But I guess for the things I wrote down about this in my pros category is that, I mean, Kurt and Whalen, yeah, I mean, there's no like growth or character arcs for these people. It's just, to me, this is just like a solid pilot episode for like a Kurt and Whalen series, and like it just like shows who these people kind of are or were on a daily basis. Like Whalen, he's like a college frat douchebag guy who just is chasing girls and is totally in over his head. Kurt is his oblivious sidekick and roommate who just kind of goes along with whatever he says, stuff like that. So, you know, it's a solid pilot episode for future installments, which is, of course, what we're going to do now with season 2 of Brothers Duel. But the cons I have with it is just, like, I mean, the lighting, the camera work, the framing is bland. It's kind of too... It's too overexposed, but, like, since the comedy is just, like, it really speaks to me in my sense of humor, I mean...
Yeah.
Those elements can kind of be swept under the rug, because I was just vibing with this when I was watching it today. Like Kurt and Whalen and Doppelgangers are probably the short films that I've just rewatched the most out of all of our stuff. because of how memorable and funny they are. So, my favorite short film from season 1 is Curtain Whalen, and yours is Sunday Clown.
Sunday Clown, yes. So Sunday Clown, I think the opening shot is fantastic. You walk up to the front of the house. Lyle lets you in, or Patrick walks up to the front of the house. Lyle lets him in, and you see the Sunday Clown's glove in the car. Like, the shot from the car is fantastic.
Well, I mean, the whole movie is shot brilliantly because it was shot by Armand, who was our old DP for a time.
He was terrific.
Yeah.
And I think the reunion between Lyle and Patrick, when Patrick finally gets let in, is awkward. But I think it's awkward in a good way because they mention we haven't seen each other since before COVID. And like I had mentioned before, doing edibles together is a realistic thing for college age students to do. I think Lyle and Patrick both are.
But you haven't done that, Max, right?
No. Good music that matches the tone really well. I think the Pee-wee's Big Adventure music is really good. There's a solid opening montage showing the clown sneaking around the exterior of the house, and while the two are laid back inside. So I think the contrast between those kind of two things of characters are relaxed and then something going on outside while they're oblivious is terrific. The first clown jump scare at the window is both very funny and creepy, and the laugh you chose is not my laugh, it's Mark Hamill's laugh.
From Batman Arkham Knight.
Yep, when he jump scares Batman.
Yeah.
The Lady of Gotham. And then the one thing that I wrote down about this that I get a con is Patrick and Lyle both see the clown at the window the second time, but then they go out to the street to check out where the clown was, despite the fact they just saw him at the window. Which again, this was supposed to be, or they were supposed to see the clown in the street, but we couldn't really get that shot because I was the director and also the clown, so I couldn't see what was going on the monitor because I was filming that. We did a couple shots where I dove behind a truck and it just didn't work out. So Armand, the DP, was like, "Yeah, Max, I don't think it was going to work out." I'm like, "Okay." The clown laughing at the front step and then locking himself inside the house is a really good twist. You're like, okay, you see this clown, what's he gonna do? But he just goes inside the house, locks himself in, and that is just whoa, okay.
Lyle right out without his keys or his phone.
Yeah, exactly. The camera work and cinematography, like you mentioned, is fantastic. It's edited with very quick cuts. The music really conveys a sense of urgency and mystery of what the heck the clown is doing inside the house. And when Patrick and Lyle get back in the house and Patrick digs through his stuff, there is a great low-angle shot of Patrick's my wallet's gone, and then you guys read the note. Yeah, Patrick and Lyle read the note. And the clown flashback is really solid. The black and white really takes away his humanity.
Yeah, Max, you did a great job with the voiceover narration.
That was actually you, Luke.
Really?
Yeah.
I did that.
Apparently you did. I thought it
No way!
If I were to do something differently, I would probably... I love the ending of it where it kind of pans to the back, but I wish we piled more crap in the back of my car at the time.
The Toyota Matrix, yeah.
Yeah, I wish we piled more crap back there. Or it was the RAV4.
Oh, damn it.
This was after the Toyota Matrix.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, I wish we piled more crap in there because then it's it's not really clear what is back there, but it's just it's just a bunch of stuff. But I think it's more clear now that you see me run out with the bag, because before in the original cut we pan back, and some people I remember were confused because some people thought that those were the bodies of Lyle and Patrick, which they weren't.
Yeah.
They were just this clown does not kill people. He's just a clown that distracts.
Not yet.
Not yet. He's a clown that distracts people and lures them out of their house, and then gets inside and locks himself in, robs the place as fast as he can, and then leaves.
I mean, yeah, it's sort of kind of based off of the 2016 clown epidemic, where clowns were just harassing people. Mm-hmm. For no reason, but here there's a reason. And Yeah, and for those of you who are currently listening to this on YouTube, I would highly encourage you to put your ranking of our short films from worst to best down below in the comments. We would love to see your opinions.
Yeah, and if you guys ever want to provide us with some constructive criticism or any feedback at all of our short films are available to review on Letterboxd, if you are all into the Letterboxd, which is a cool movie reviewing app.
Yeah, I was just about to say all of our short films were on Letterboxd, but I'm pretty sure you just said that, right?
Yeah, just kind of like the same thing earlier with Gopher Combs.
Yeah, I mean, put me in a home, Max. Put me in the nursing home right away.
Yeah, anyway, thank you all for listening to episode 2 of the Brothers Duel Podcast, where we rank our own short films. I hope you enjoyed this. And it was a really good exercise for both of us, I think, kind of diving into each film and talking about why
What muscles did we exercise, Max?
our analytical mind.
Oh.
I don't know. But it's still a good exercise to kind of talk about where we could improve. It's just good exercise as creative.
Yeah, I mean,
filmmakers.
we don't know what we exercised, but it was a good exercise, right, Max?
If you say so.